a ribeye in a few different forms, right? Everybody sort of knows what a ribeye is. And this is the ribeye right here. So this is, you know, you can also use this if you have the cap on top of it as a prime rib. So when you go and have prime rib, it's the same cut. It comes out of the same meat and everything. So here's a ribeye loin, which we cut the classic ribeye out of. So that's a ribeye steak. Ribeye always has that big, nice chunk of good fat, what we call good fat. But the ribeye has a couple pieces to it, right? So two great pieces to the ribeye. So we take, besides serving a ribeye, we do two different steaks out of a ribeye. I got a little thicker one. I took the end cut that we took off. And what we do is we come in here and we separate it. Look at how easy I'm doing this with my hands, right? I just separate this steak. Super simple. And now we have two pieces of the ribeye. And what we have is we have the ribeye cap, which this is probably the most expensive piece of meat general, besides the grating and marbling, is the ribeye cap. And then what we have here is we have the inside of the ribeye. And this is a cut that's a 150-year-old cut of beef. There are so many old cuts of beef, you know, but this is called a Spencer steak. And this cut goes back at least 125 years. There's lots of different cuts, but the Spencer is one of my favorite cuts because ribeye is known anyways to have great marbling and flavor. So I don't really need the cap, even though that people might think that's the best part of the ribeye to them. This is my best part of the ribeye. It's like New York, but 1,000 times better, right? It's not as fatty as the whole ribeye, so it's a Spencer cut. So we serve that. Then what we do is for parties or for a group of 5 or 6 or 8 or 10 people, we like to do big, what we call tomahawk chops. So this is taking the ribeye again, leaving the bones in it, and we cut a piece of beef like this. This one I would say weighs about 55 to 60 ounces. This is coming from a prime cattle. So you could see all the marbling in the ribeye again. Nice, beautiful. You know, we age them anywhere between 28 to 60 days, depending on the beef. You know, when you age beef, it shrinks. All you're doing when you're aging beef is you're intensifying the flavor, and the water part of the beef is all evaporating. So if you start with a 5-pound tomahawk chop or a 4-pound tomahawk chop, if you dry age it for, you know, 28 days, you'll probably lose 40% of the beef. So that's why it's so expensive when people order dry aged beef, because they're already paying expensive for it, and now they're getting half of the value after they dry age it. So that's our tomahawk chop.